Please put your hands together for Beth.
What I wanted to sort of read tonight, I didn't realise how many of them were kind of about birds. I have no special interest in birds at all, and the person I've come was looking after kind of someone's budgie for a week and it died, so I have lots of birds. Oh, please don't ever let me look at your bird. Where's it gone? Okay. This first one is a list poem. Ooh. And it's called The Perfect Meal. 1. Think about the fact that you're hungry and regret the fact that your digestive system needs restocking. 2. Think about what a pigeon would taste like. Stare out the window at those pesky, possibly delicious bastards. 3. Start heating some water. After several minutes of staring into the void, realise you are actually supposed to turn the hob on. 4. Put some pasta into the water. I'm not telling you how much because I don't know how many you're cooking for, dumbass. 5. Realise you were supposed to wait for the water to start bubbling before putting the pasta in it. In a blind panic, add some more pasta. 6. Whilst waiting for your pasta to cook, learn the oboe. It's advisable to Google what an oboe actually is first. It sort of looks like a recorder, but with swag. Thanks, Susan, you okay? 7. Remember that pigeons exist and evolution managed to create something so stupid. Snap oboe in frustration. In a blind panic, add some more pasta. 8. Remember that you're actually supposed to have something else with the pasta. Realise that the only thing you have in your cupboard is a dead mouse and some olives. Remember that you don't like olives, so this is now a problem. 9. Make the lonely trek to the shop without your wallet. This is to ensure maximum panic and limits choice to 17p tin of beans. Burn with shame as you count out the stray 2p's in your pockets. 10. Swear at the pigeons on your way home. Those little feathery gits are probably behind this somehow. 11. Remember that you've left the pasta on for slightly too long. Look at the charred remains of the pasta and think of a convoluted metaphor about how this somehow reflects your life. In a blind panic, add some more pasta. 12. Put beans into a pan and put them on the hob. Stare into the void as you think about the terror that is a pigeon coop. Not a coop, a coup. 13. Snap out of it to realise that the beans are now the same colour as rabbit turds. In a blind panic, add some more pasta. 14. Throw a can of beans at the pigeon on the windowsill and then marvel what a brilliant shot you are. Go you! 15. Poke the pigeon and realise it's not moving. Think about giving it CPR, but decide not to because you don't want to earn yet another nickname. 16. Think about using the pigeon as replacement for the beans, but remember that time Kevin from down the road ate a rabbit on a camping trip and got something nasty from it. In a blind panic, add some more pasta. 17. In an even blinder panic, add even more pasta. 18. Dig around in the fridge and find a slightly squashed baby bell. Season your pasta with this, along with the distilled essence of the disappointment you have become. 19. Serve in a hastily washed bowl. For an added kick, think about how you've screwed this up, and your salty tears shall give it an unforgettable taste. 20. Fret about the pigeons as you eat, and wonder if they'll come to avenge their fallen brother. In a blind panic, build a bunker to protect yourself from your imminent death. I feel like you might want to know the follow-up to the dead budgie story, which is that we kind of, just put it in the bin, it'd be fine. And then my mum's friend texted us a few days later because she was abroad and hadn't got the news. It was like, oh, give it a good Christian burial. We were like, oh. So we had to dig through 3 days of rubbish to sort of collect a budgie and then bury the budgie. So, seriously, please do not let me look after your birds. I'm not good with birds, as I will demonstrate in this next poem, which is called Penguins Will Never Work on Wall Street. A friend once said that penguins would make ideal replacements for bankers. Well, there might be something in that. They appear to be trustworthy, reliable little souls with a vast knowledge of all economic matters. They even arrive on this planet in teeny tiny little suits, ready to get cracking with the paperwork. But there's a problem with our tiny feathered friends, and it's not that they can't fly, for many buildings now have lifts. And it's not the slightly less obvious, but still quite serious issue, that they don't have fingers. They can just jab calculators with their flippers, rather than count on their non-existent fingers. I actually discovered the problem when I opened a business with a penguin called Steve. The problem is, they're too funny for their own good. I laughed at the way Steve waddled into every meeting. He looked like a toddler who really needed a wee. Then I laughed at him when he slid on his tummy to the water cooler. But that's because he forgot it wasn't laminate floor and got carpet burn. Then on Bring Your Kids to Work Day, I laughed at his kids too. I'm going to be honest, I'm a bit of a prick for laughing at the penguin. But I kept laughing, so I made mistakes. Like accidentally signing over most of my shares in our business to Steve, making him the majority shareholder, who took over our company, selling most of the assets until all I was left with was a battered Nissan Micra and my mum's Take That CD collection. This is why penguins will never work on Wall Street. They're extremely good at capitalism. The only thing that can stop them is global warming. Good luck, comrades. I think we should take a slight detour away from birds for a bit. And instead it's the glorious world of DIY.
Yay!
My sister got her room redecorated over the Easter holidays. I didn't. Thanks. But I got a poem out of it, so ha. This one is called The Summoning. I gazed at the parchment before me, covered with incomprehensible symbols. A relic from the past, perhaps. A secret waiting to be unlocked. I decided to sound aloud the incantation on the page, just to see if I could prize a meaning from these squiggles. Put screw N into slot B to connect with part 4A on site 6.8. To my horror, this summoned the dad. Beth, we're not even on that bloody step yet. Make yourself useful and go and make a cuppa. I'm taking these drawers back, we're missing a piece, the dad said in a rage. So I decided to fulfill its commands. However, in the brief time I left the dad alone, something terrible happened. On my return, I was greeted by a charred hole in the carpet and writing in blood on the wall. It proclaimed the warning, IKEA. What could this mean? Had the dad read the instructions backwards and summoned an actual demon? Or was he just horrifically clumsy and burnt the carpet and wounded himself? Being well acquainted with this species of dad, I bet on the latter. So whether voluntarily or by force, the dad was in IKEA. I thought about following him to rescue him from the perils of flat-packed yet reasonably priced Swedish furniture. But then I remembered that I don't have a year and a half of my life to spare. I didn't. We haven't heard from him since, and we don't expect to. I've come to accept that I will never see the dad again. So was my mum. She got Tinder and then hooked up with my maths teacher from high school. Much has changed, and we are slowly rebuilding our lives. And the rest of the furniture that Dad didn't assemble before his untimely departure, which has caused no fewer than 30 separate arguments. I just hope the Dad is happy, and has sought solace with the countless souls of other species of the Dad, who braved the hours of IKEA and never returned. It's either that, or he comes home to find my mum with my maths teacher, which might anger him, especially since he's only been gone for an hour and a half. I've been enlightened by Kate to the idea of kind of like the multiverse theory, that there's like other universes besides ours, and Kate is solely responsible for this. And my poem is called An Extended Existential Crisis. So apparently, there are other universes besides this one. The one which actually exists because we can touch things. Definitely exists. But then there are others that also exist. But we can't see them because metaphysics and Jesus? But my life was a lot simpler before I knew this information. Now I lie awake at night wondering whether there's an alternate universe where people don't have teeth, so can't eat solid food. Therefore everyone owns a smoothie maker. Then people start bragging about their freshly made smoothies, whilst I'm left with Sainsbury's basic orange juice like a peasant. I now lie awake at night wondering whether there's an alternate universe where turkeys are blue and come from the moon, therefore suggesting that moon turkeys are indeed a real thing. I now lie awake at night wondering whether there's an alternate universe where geese have teeth instead of people. Therefore making them superior. Therefore they rule over us in a ghostly manner, assisted by the moon turkey. If you can't tell, I haven't slept for 3 weeks. I don't know whether I'm more annoyed by that, or the fact that my brain, rather than taking this opportunity to examine things from a different perspective, has gone, turkeys? Yes. They need a superhero origin story. I don't even like turkeys. They're named after a country they don't even come from. And they look like a peacock's uncool cousin. I don't even like geese either. They act far too cocky for a species that will only live with its parents and not move out and get a job. And I'm going to be honest, I don't even like smoothies. I just wanted a smoothie maker because everyone else seems to have one. In an alternate universe, there might be a smoothie I like. There might even be a bird species I don't feel a certain amount of antagonism for. There might also be a way of consulting my brain thinking about alternate universes. But I can't get to them because science and shit. So I'm stuck here thinking of geese turkey smoothie concoctions.